Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to a bonus episode of the Same Old Arsenal podcast. We've just been sat here talking to each other for 15 minutes and realised that we weren't live. Talk about professionals.
This bodes well for my first show, doesn't it, young man? Teaching me what to do. I'm sitting here talking.
Deary me. I hope you're all well. Thanks for coming along, everyone. It's a pleasure to see you all. Hope you all had a great Christmas. Hope you've all had a good new year and all that malarkey. As you can see on the screen, sitting next to me is the lovely Amanda. Our January signing. She's here, finally, on the Same Old Arsenal. Amanda will be bringing you her own show every week. As from next week, we were going to do the 13th, but then the Carabao Cup has got in the way now because we're playing Liverpool. So we can't do that, but we will go that week. I'm sure Amanda will let me know when she's going to do it. Amanda, welcome to the Same Old Arsenal podcast. It is a delight to have you here.
Thank you so much. God, we started chatting back in August and we were discussing, you asked me to come and join, which was so lovely. Thank you, Craig. And now I'm a January transfer free signing. Didn't even have to pay.
Bosnan free.
Yep.
Oh, I've known Amanda for years and years and years. We met via the podcast route, like most of the people, I've met that have become friends over the past 10 or God knows how many years it's been since I started the Gooner talk. Wow, that is ancient. But Tom Canton's taken that onto massive new heights. So well done, Tom. What's this? No show on Monday, Dan Man and Gooner. Yes, there is a show tomorrow night. The boys are back in town. But this is just a little bonus episode to introduce everyone to Amanda. Now, Amanda, I know you. I've known you for a long time. I know you're an Arsenal fan, a massive Arsenal fan, massive Gooner. Runs in your family for years and years and years and years. But for those who might not know you, tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, so when I joined Twitter, which I didn't even know what Twitter was all about, one of my friends said to me, "You'd love the banter with the Arsenal." And I went, "Well, who's going to want to talk to me?" 30,000 followers later. That's 12 years. I can't believe I've got all these followers, but weirdly I have. And then I was approached to do a podcast and I didn't know what a podcast was and realised it was audio. So I could sit in my pyjamas with my hair up in the kitchen talking about Arsenal. And that led to the Gooners Girls podcast, which I did for quite a few years. Then other podcasts came along and it was great. And then I started Hybrid Heels, which led on to Hybrid Squad. And that was my latest one with when I brought KC on. It was fantastic. I loved having Kevin to talk to, which he's on here a lot as well. And I left in May. Many reasons, but just needed a break. And when you came along a few months later, it was just perfect. Then obviously you had your, fell
off the wagon.
Your sad time and stuff. And then it just all came together. And I always believe in what's meant to be is meant to be. So I am your free transfer. For those that don't know me, I'm 52. And the reason I'm telling you that is because 48 years ago, I started going to football when I was 4. So my dad is the biggest Gooner on the planet. Doesn't go anymore because he can't get up the steps and, finds it very hard to sit in the cold. But he's obsessed from morning to night with Arsenal and has been since the late 50s. And he was there in 71 as well. And he tells everyone that I could recite the double team when I was 4 years old. I swear that is a urban myth. But anyway, my first match, I don't know what it was, but I was 4. I was thrown over the turnstiles and sat on my dad's lap. So I remember the first final I ever watched on TV was Ipswich in 78, but the main one was United in 79. I remember sitting with my flag in my mum's lounge with all my cousins that were Arsenal. I was 10 years old and thought, I'll have some of this. This is for me. And then I started to go regularly, probably early 80s. And yes, for those that don't know me, was that I was there in Anfield 89. I was behind the goal to the left with all the Arsenal fans. And then, luckily enough, 20, 30 years later, or how many years it is, I've lost count, I was asked to do the interviews at the 89 film for Arsenal Fan TV. Whether you like them or not, it's irrelevant. I don't care. I loved it. I had the best night of my life.
Of course you did.
I interviewed everybody that was on the pitch that night. George Graham was at everybody. It was just incredible. So from Twitter, I've had the most amazing experiences. And then many things have happened over the years, been on Sky, but I'm not in the media. I'm just a normal fan that goes to the game, that sits in the East Stand Upper from Highbury right through to the Emirates now. And I just love it. And I'm, Gooner Girl, 1969 on Twitter. That's my name.
Go and follow her if you haven't. Well, I bet everyone that's watching is already logging you anyway. This one, look at this one from Gooner Ledge. He says, 52, I'm 42, and you look younger than me. So,
I like you already, Gooner Legends.
This one's from a fella you know.
Yeah, I know him very well.
Yeah, he's probably downstairs now on the phone typing that in there. This one comes in from Stephen. Evening, guys. Much love from Kenya.
Oh,
goodness
lovely.
Me. All the way
Hello,
over
everyone.
in Kenya. Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Yeah, loads of love coming in for you, Amanda. It's really, really cool.
That's really nice.
Like I said, we're a good. I'm proud of the community we've got here. You know, the lads and lasses who watch this podcast are A1, and I love them all. It's a great community. You won't get any. You know, you're not going to get anything bad happen or people.
Well, if I do, they get a yellow card. I'll tell you that. Nothing.
Out.
Yellow, then a red.
Yeah, I'll teach you how to boot people out. So as soon as you see people being divs, you can boot them out. But honestly, never happens. The community we've got here at the Same Old Arsenal is absolutely brilliant, and I love and respect every single one of them. I suppose we better talk a little bit about yesterday's gut-wrenching defeat to Manchester City. It's really strange, Amanda, because after the game, you know, I was upset. But when I have to take a couple of hours to mooch around the house, you know, going over and over and over in my mind. But when you look at it and when you sit back, we can't really blame. I've got to be careful what I say here. A lot of people are having a go at the ref, me included. I had a go at the ref. The officiating was poor. But I have to say, Amanda, I think we should have been out of sight before all of this happened. I mean, you go 1-0 up with Saka, and Martinelli goes down the left-hand side, close for 2-0. People are talking about the referee getting in his way. He still should have scored, Amanda. He still should have buried that. So before we do start having a go at VAR and having a go at referees and this, that, and the other, I think we have to look at ourselves as well.
I made a really big boo-boo when I left the ground, coming down the stairs, coming out, and everyone was screaming about VAR on the ref, VAR on the ref. I should have done what you did, kept my mouth shut for about an hour and calmed down, and I went mental. Until I kept quiet until I couldn't keep quiet anymore. And I went, and what about Gabriel? Do you think that was good enough? And of course, when you're at the ground, let me tell you, you don't see the replays. You only hear on Twitter, family WhatsApps. Everyone's got a different opinion. I've got a lot of friends that are different, supporters of different teams. I've got a lot of City mates that are in the away end. And everyone was saying different, yeah? We can't see whether Ederson has touched Ødegaard from where I sit. It looked it, but who knows? So we have to rely on VAR. And I said it from day one, Craig, I don't want VAR in the game. End of. I don't want it because penalties are opinions. They're not facts. You and I could sit here all night and disagree about penalty. What's the point in VAR? VAR's just opinions. We need facts. Is it over the line? Facts. That's what we need. We didn't get that yesterday. Now, what's annoyed everybody, I totally understand, and we need to talk about this, is the fact that he didn't get called over to the screen to look at Ødegaard's. Yeah. Whereas Silva, who did the biggest dive I've ever seen, okay, and weirdly, even my boyfriend who's just commented here, said to me, did you see that dive by Silva? We only see it and it's gone, isn't it? We get that split second, like the ref. I personally think that Xhaka doing Xhaka again, pulling a shirt, putting his leg out, it's a penalty, but ours was a penalty. But again, when you look at it at different angles, it can look like he's stamped on his leg. So that can go on forever. There's no point having VAR for penalties. It's all about opinions, Now, Martinelli should have scored. Yeah, I do agree. What I don't like about the ref, and I don't really like talking about refs a lot, but you will see from my shows that I'm very, very, what's that word? I'm honest to me and how I see things. I'm not a sheep. If 24 people in the chat room don't agree with me, that's fair enough. I've got no issues with that. But I will not stand up for what I believe in, yeah? That referee didn't book a City player until the 94th minute. That is one of the other problems. He couldn't wait to book us. Gabriel, I don't understand the first booking. I was told it wasn't for the scuff up of the penalty spot. I was told he gave him a bit of grief. Okay.
Well, I think it was after. I think if you watch back, Gabriel and Xhaka are over to him, protesting about the penalty. And Rodri actually comes in and pushes Gabriel into the referee. The referee then turns around and sees the scuffle going on. And then I'm getting other people telling me that he got booked after the penalty because he carried on going at the referee. So,
and if that's the case, because he could have had a word with him, Craig. It wasn't a dirty game. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't nasty, niggly. It was absolutely awesome for 45 minutes from us. We took it to them. But yes, and as my dad famously says, if you don't take your chances, you don't win games. And Martinelli in front of us, in front of me, down the North Bank end, should have scored, should have put it in the back of the net. I don't know why he didn't, but I'm not going to have a go at him because he's been superb for us and he's a kid. The other thing is, what I would say is, Gabriel, knowing he's on a yellow, to block his man and take him out like that is inexperience. And if he's on a yellow, then that is a yellow card. So I take back what I said actually to the boys on the stairs, but we're all aerated when we came out. We're so frustrated we lost. We so deserved a point at least. And what I love about my City friends, the guys that travel around the world to watch Man City, they all said the same. We nicked it off you. You deserve to win that game. None of them. They're not like Tottenham supporters where they're going to deny that. They actually literally said to me, I don't know how we got away with that. You were far superior to us. Even Pep said it. It's a shame, but we've got to learn from that. I thought Saka's goal was absolutely awesome from start to finish. What I'm loving about this team, and for your listeners that don't know me, I'm very, very much pro Arteta. I really am, and I have been since day one. And I will be pro Arteta. And I said I will give him to the end of the season last year. I said this for this season. I can see what he's trying to do with these kids. It's phenomenal what we've got here, the talent that we've got from Haaland as well. And I'll tell you what else was wonderful yesterday. Thomas Partey, the best game I've seen him play. And it was what we expected when he signed. This is exactly what I thought we were getting when we signed. And unfortunately now I suppose he's off to the AFCON, isn't he? So we're going to miss him on that. But overall, the way we're playing at the moment is exactly what Arteta's vision is. Okay? We actually played better than Man City yesterday, and I cannot believe I'm even saying that. VAR is a waste of time. It's causing too much trouble, far too much trouble. Atwell, I don't feel is to blame as much as the Arsenal fans are blaming. I don't like the fact he didn't book anyone for them. That was one thing. But he's told to go and look at the screen. The minute a ref's told to go and look at the screen, I looked at my other half and went, he's going to give a penalty. Yeah, don't even know whether it is or not.
Yeah.
Why would you go look at it? He's not going to overrule them, is he? But if he waved away both penalties. He was right in that respect, but they both were penalties. The other thing that I've been pointed out to as well, when the penalty was taken by City, Lacazette was holding, I think it was Jesus, literally holding his top. So that would have been pulled back if he wouldn't have scored. You've got Xhaka doing Xhaka. It's such a shame because he played really well apart from that.
He was brilliant yesterday. Absolutely fantastic.
But he just has that moment, doesn't he?
Yeah. But you see, the thing is about the thing that winds me up about that, Amanda, is that if that's the case, right? I don't think, and I'll probably get a lot of abuse for this, I don't think it was a penalty on Bernardo Silva. I really do not. It was a complete dive. The only reason you see it looks like Xhaka's tugging his shirt is because he's still got hold of it when he's falling.
No, he definitely dived, Craig.
Right? He definitely dived. But it's not for me, it's not a penalty, right? But what I was going to say is, if that's the case, then next weekend we should see 10 penalties every game. It goes on every single week. What about when Tommy was running through against Manchester United and he's bundled to the ground by Harry Maguire? Nothing.
Because
Nothing
the thing
happened.
is, Craig, it's
What about when Aubameyang was
opinion.
clear through and he got taken down?
Yes.
Nothing.
But that's football without VAR, isn't it? That's the same thing without what's happening is you bring in VAR to help and it's not helping, it's hindering in it. Because now we're going, why about this? What about that? Every club is doing the same. I speak to my Scouse mates. I spoke to my Chelsea mate. Everyone's saying the same. Well, you haven't seen what happened to us. It's happening to all of us. It's not just Arsenal. I won't go on that, that conspiracy theory that everyone's against us. It is really happening everywhere. So get rid because it's not working because don't have it for penalties. Let the referee decide on the field. And if he wants to go and look at the screen because he's not sure, maybe a split second later things, or maybe it was, let him go and have a look. Opinions are not facts. Facts are whether that ball crossed the line. Facts are whether he handballed it. I mean, you can tell virtually a handball. It's ruined the game for me because you can't enjoy. But Craig, sorry, darling, you can't enjoy a game. You can't enjoy a goal anymore.
No.
You literally have to score the perfect goal for it not to. You jump up and then you go, oh yeah, VAR.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh, was anyone offside? Was anyone? Was their toe offside or was their toenail offside? I get the fact. I mean, there's people in the chat, saying it was a foul. Granit Xhaka was pulling his shirt. This, that, and the other. I get that, right? I get that. But not all contact is a foul, right?
No.
And like I said, we see shirt pulling every single week in the Premier League. This is all I'm saying is, if that's the case, if that's the case, if this penalty being awarded makes the FA or the refs say, right, you have really got to get on top of this shirt pulling now because everyone's bringing this up. If we play, we play against Liverpool, we play against Spurs, and someone's in the box and they go running in for a header and they're pulled back, I want to see a penalty given.
Yeah.
As an Arsenal fan, I want to see a penalty given. I want to see a penalty given for anyone. If there's a tug, from now on, if there's a pull of the shirt, it's got to go. It's got to be a penalty. It's got to be a penalty. And I want to see players crowding referees, have a look, because he pulled my shirt and it's a penalty. But then on the other hand, I don't want to see it because then the game is not going to flow properly and everyone's going to be looking for, every little pull. They're going to go down with their arms up in the air. And it's something I don't like watching is other players trying to get an advantage off someone by cheating. Like yesterday. It's a massive... He done the silly salmon, for God's sake, in the box.
I know. And,
do you know?
Don't you feel, Craig, that you just want someone at our club to get hold of Xhaka and say, stop. You are playing well.
I do.
You are playing well. Just stop the nonsense because you're causing us. Again, yesterday caused us. But I'll go back to VAR, yeah? I don't know if anyone saw the game, but I was watching Chelsea-Liverpool tonight. Mane, elbow.
It's a straight red card for me.
That must be the fifth elbow I've seen Mane do and then go and score. He did it against Tierney with us 2 seasons ago. Straight elbow.
Yeah.
But he got a yellow. Now, I would say to that ref, what have you given a yellow card for? Because a yellow card is not for an elbow. So what have you given it for? Dangerous play? Red card. This is what annoys me. But since I've been going to football in the early 80s, that's what goes on. You get some, you don't get some. You win some, you lose some. And it swings and roundabouts. I'm sorry, it really is for every club. It's not just our club. But yet VAR's making it worse now. I mean, if you watched Match of the Day last night, I thought Ian Wright was going to tear Gary Lineker a new one, and he didn't. He didn't. He was quite quiet. I'm assuming, and I love Wrighty.
He's on the payroll. We all love him, but
he couldn't say what he wanted to say. I'm assuming because he looked like he was ready to go. He was on the edge of his seat when he was Dion Dublin, edge of his seat. He didn't say anything.
No.
But I can't dispute that, again, we've lost a game because our heads went. I know Lacazette tried his best yesterday, he was captain, wasn't he? Trying to calm Gabriel down. I actually tweeted before Gabriel went, are we allowed to swear, by the way, Craig? I'm not sure. If we're allowed.
Small ones.
Small. All right. I won't say the big one. If we don't calm the frigging F down, if we don't calm the F down, we're going to lose this. And then Gabriel here, and then we lost. And because I could see it, we were so in control. It was the most beautiful football to watch against the top 4 side. We've not done that in years.
Yeah, we were great. I mean, it's it was a really weird feeling of actually being proud of the team after getting beaten. Like, it's been a while since I've been. It's been a while since you've been beaming with pride to be an Arsenal fan. One of those days was, the day came yesterday where I was massively proud because we were the first team really I've seen, other than Liverpool, to really take it to Manchester City. And even Pep Guardiola said in his interview, they were better than us. They were better than us. They didn't deserve to lose. They deserved a point at least.
They got out of jail. I'll tell you something.
They did. And to lose it like that, but see, to lose it like that, I mean, the way that ball's come across, it's going to go 99 times out of 100. That ball doesn't fall to was it Rodri? It was Rodri, wasn't it? It doesn't fall to him there. 99 times out of 100, it does not fall straight to him. And very, very lucky to win the game. Very, very lucky to win the game. Gut wrenching for us, them as Arsenal fans, after playing so well. But Keith, he agrees with me. If the referees give penalties every time there was a slight infringement, every game would be abandoned when it got down to 8 players, with score being 15 penalties to 12. Thank you, Keith. I totally agree with you. Like, I'm of the old school. When I used to play football, not all contact was a foul. But not all contact was a foul, and it is now. Yeah. I think the game is being ruined. I think it's going too soft. And that would be my opinion on it. I mean, you can't have every time someone gives a little. I mean, players are actually feeling for that contact, that pull, and that, he pulled my shirt, and go down. So something's got to be done about it. I hope that something is done about it. I hope that perhaps.
Sorry, Craig. Do you remember that goal? Was it Chambers scored against Palace last year or the year before with VAR? Scored a perfectly good goal down the North Bank to win us the game. And yes. They took it off us for some. I can't remember. I'm not very. People get used to this. I'm not very good with stats.
Well, they actually disallowed it because he said that Rob Holding had fouled a player.
Yeah, and he hadn't. And we lost those points, which could have been very, very detrimental in the end. And it worries me because it's not the same anymore. As I said, you get up, you're going ballistic for the goal, and then all of a sudden you're looking around everywhere to see if it stopped. And it's taken. It's not for the right things. Forget penalties. Just do it for factual times when it can only be facts. You and I can sit here and argue. Like, you can see people are arguing. Well, most Arsenal fans don't think it was a penalty. It was a penalty on David Silva, whether he dived or not. He was tugged and his leg was left out. I remember the Leicester game, Vardy, Monreal, right in front of me. Monreal, he dives over Monreal's leg. He gives a penalty. I go mental for about 2 months about that with many, many fans that weren't Arsenal. And I still won't have it to this day. He dived over his leg, but his leg shouldn't have been there. He stuck it out. That's the problem. That's what we're going to. And players need to be a bit more clever and a little bit more disciplined. Now, I woke up this morning and I felt angry and proud. It was the most weirdest situation because so proud of those boys. They did not stop. And you're not going to beat Man City when you go down to 10 men. You're just not. And you've got to take your chances. And Martinelli will learn from that. And what a player we have in Martinelli.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Winnie.
Yeah, absolute quality, the kid. A lot of we used to have a lot of discussion about him on the podcast last year. A few of the boys thought that Arteta didn't like him. Me and Harry were of the opinion that he was protecting him. Because after the knee injury, then he comes back and then he gets an ankle injury during the warm up. He was sent away. I mean, after those injuries had happened, we see pictures on his Instagram of him in the gym, and pumping iron, and you can see his physique has definitely changed. From he was a skinny little thing when he started playing for us. Now he's got a bit of beef about him, and I genuinely believe that Arteta has sent him away and told him to beef up. Once he's beefed up, you're in the team. And, okay, the Aubameyang thing has helped his cause massively because, obviously, the Aubameyang thing with Aubameyang being left out, or is he gone now, or will he be sold in January? Rumours today that Newcastle want him. that's helped his cause massively. But what I am so impressed with Martinelli is the way he's taken that opportunity. You know, people say take a chance with both hands. You know, I mean, he's holding on to it with his feet and both hands.
Do you know what? You and Harry are so right. You're in my camp with KC. Sophie didn't agree with that. She was like, and there was times where I was like, I was a bit, and then I said to, it makes sense, doesn't it, Craig? Why would you back if he needed someone to score goals and we weren't doing well? Why would you hold a player back?
Yeah,
Arteta's there to win every game. If people don't think he wants to win every game, you should stop going to football. Managers want to win every game. They're not going to hold a player back if they can help us. He wasn't ready. He was being protected 100%. And now look at him. ESR came in at the right time. Saka came in at the right time. Arteta's not an idiot. He's played the game at the highest level. He's played under two wonderful managers, and he was coach at City. And let me tell you, all my City mates will have Arteta back in a second, in a flash. They've said it already. But I do feel that ESR, Saka, Martinelli, and I love Lacazette, the glue. He is the glue, and they love him as well. And the way he supports them as well. And Erdegaard. The people that were criticising Erdegaard were the ones that were criticising Ramsdale. Well, I don't get it. I don't get it, Craig. Do not criticise a player until they've played in your shirt.
Exactly. At least give him, a couple of games. I mean, the slander that Aaron Ramsdale got when he signed for Arsenal, I could not believe it. This kid brought his granddad's ashes to his contract signing, right? And you're having a go at him. He's ours. His granddad was an Arsenal fan, I believe, and he's taking his granddad's ashes to the contract signing. Here I am, granddad signing for Arsenal. The abuse that he got, unbelievable and so not deserved. All right, he's had bad times at Sheffield United and Bournemouth, but as a goalkeeper, let me tell you, you're only as good as the defence in front of you. That is it. You're only as good in goal as the defence in front of you. You go back through the goalkeepers. You know, Lehmann was a great goalkeeper, but look at the defence he had in front of him. David Seaman was a great goalkeeper. Look at the defence he had in front of him. Schmeichel, one of the best in the Premier League. Peter, senior. Look at that defence. You know,
it goes up the line, doesn't it? Because then Vieira protected our defence.
Of course.
That's why we were invincibles.
Yeah, my dad always used to say to me when I was a kid, they've got to get past 10 people before they get past you.
Yeah.
So always remember that. And, I always did. But, I mean, and especially Odegaard as well, got called this, that and the other by supporters. You can't, I don't know why we do it. We're the only club that does it.
Well, don't say we, Craig, because you and I didn't do it.
No. But
I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I had a message from, still got it, from my City friend. I know I've said this a lot. He said, what the hell have you signed? And I said, who have we signed? He said, Ramsdale. I said, yeah, goalkeeper. He can't be that bad. I said to him, Arteta wouldn't have signed him. And he said, Amanda's been relegated twice. Oh, you've got a pile of dog poo. He went on. And every game, I bring that message all the way down from August. And I go, yeah, and... Never judge just because he's played bad. And it's again when they play well for another team. Sanchez left us. Sanchez was just one of my favourite all-time players. He goes to Man United, pants.
Yeah. And wants to come back. Come back 2 weeks. 2 weeks later. What about Tommy Yasu? I mean, what a
one
player.
Of my favourites. Yeah. Oh my God! Do you know what? Yesterday I watched him. Sometimes what I do is when the ball's down there, I'll watch the defence, or because I'm obviously in the North Bank side. And I saw Tommy Yasu go for a ball. You just know he's not going to pull out. As he's going for this ball with the City player, you just know he's not going to pull out. He's so tough and he's so disciplined and he's so good. 16 million quid.
16 million, great British pounds.
Arteta doesn't know what he's doing. This is what I don't get with all these Arteta outs. I mean, I know I met up with Dan yesterday, just walking around the Emirates. I said to him, you happy yet? He said, I will be if we win this month. I said, this month? I said, we've got Liverpool twice. We've got City. We've got Spurs. I said, we've got players off to the AFCON. You've got to give him to the end of the season. I don't mind. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Mine's not right. You can't have a right opinion. It's only a fact, as I said. But I don't get what else they expect they're going to see with the players we've got. You've got Aubameyang, who I hope does go to Newcastle. I'm not one of these that wants him back. I'll only want him back, Craig, if he comes out publicly, apologises to the club, apologises to Mikel, and apologises to us and gets on with the game. Then I'll accept it, because everyone deserves a second chance.
Did you accepted Granit Xhaka's apology then?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I was there that day when he threw his shirt on the floor. I never wanted him to play for us again. I just didn't. But then when you, in the heat of the moment, at that moment, when you come out of it a few weeks later and you're thinking about it, thinking, everyone's human. Yeah. We all make mistakes. No one's perfect. But he's not a great player. There's the other side of it, yeah? Can you imagine if Thierry Henry would have done that, would have forgiven him in 10 seconds?
Yeah.
And he does Xhaka things that you don't
I can remember Patrick
do.
Vieira doing it.
Yeah, well, funny enough, I was only talking about that game this week when he spat at Neil Ruddock. I was with the West Ham fans. Yeah. I was only talking about this to a West Ham fan this week. Yeah, of course. I could see that coming, but he was being wound up off the ball, which no one saw from Ruddock unless you were there. But anyway, exactly that. You're going to forgive him, aren't you? Tony Adams. There's loads of things. But because it's Xhaka and he does the Xhaka moments and he isn't that great, but I think he could be better than he is if he continues with Partey and he stamps out that nonsense that we have, that we know each game's going to come. But going back to Tomiyasu, what a signing. Honestly, brilliant.
Magic. Absolutely magic. I mean, Aaron Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Ben White, I think Ben White and Gabriel are starting to form a lovely, lovely partnership there in the middle. I was worried for Kieran Tierney when we started playing I forgot his name, Tavares at left back. I was really, really impressed with him, and I was thinking, goodness me, Kieran Tierney's going to have to do a lot to get back into this team. And he has. He's come back. Kieran Tierney starts again for me. I thought Kieran Tierney was magnificent yesterday as well. I think to a man, they were all magnificent, every single one of them. But it was just a gut-wrenching way to lose, especially at home. And, you know, I was sitting at home at 1-0 while we were 1-0 up, and I was thinking to myself, it's typical. We're going to beat Manchester City, and Arteta's not there. Typical. Do you know, I really thought it was going to happen. You know, the footballing gods have got some funny ways of showing people. But look, I don't think anyone can actually sit back deep down inside of them and say that they want Arteta to go. Not now. Yes, we lost the game. Yes, we lost to Everton. Yes, we lost to Manchester United. Yes, we've had some bad performances, but every team has bad performances. Liverpool had a bad performance last week against Leicester. Couldn't hit a barn door, lost the game. You know, I watched Chelsea-Liverpool today. Great game of football. But every team, you've watched, every team are going to have bad results, and that's just the way it goes. But you can't just go back and shout at the manager every time you have a bad performance. You can't,
because, you know, obviously talking to KC a lot, and we've discussed this, the players have to take so much more responsibility. He'll set the tactics up, whether you agree with them or not, and he makes them, sorry, I hope anyone can hear my dog. He hates, he sets the tactics up, whether you like them or not, but he puts those players across that white line, and it's down to them.
Exactly. Here's a great point. Here's a great point from Peter. Look, people need to remember that with the financial power the top four teams have, bar Liverpool, who have bought and sold well, it will take time and really good recruitment to get our Arsenal back to the top four, which I think is happening right before our eyes with the signings that he made. This thing about this modern thing about football fans, since Football Manager and FIFA have become a thing, that you're no good unless you cost over 70 million.
Yeah, I know. It's rubbish.
You know, it's just, well, why can't people still say it, even though we signed Ben White for, well, okay, sorry, Ben White
was a big one,
a bit more. Take Odegaard, I think, was a bargain. Ramsdale was a bargain. Tomiyasu, bargain. You know, I mean, these players have made a massive difference to what we do on the pitch.
Craig, do you remember how much Nicholas Anelka was?
I do. Didn't we? We bought him
$500,000.
500,000. Yeah.
And we sold him for 26. Yeah.
29, I think. Was it?
Yeah. I was so gutted when he was sold.
Yeah.
He was going to become world class, but then that made room for Henry. But Anelka went because the fan base said he would never replace Wrighty, and he got his brothers and whatever happened. And obviously the rest is history. Yeah. 500 grand, and he was magnificent. I loved watching him. So my point is, whether 100 million or 2 million, you ain't got a clue until he puts that jersey on and crosses the white line and carries out his duties.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, I'd never heard of Tommy Asu. I didn't even know how to say his name for about 2 weeks properly. I was calling Tommy.
Yeah.
And he has grown into... I feel I was upset when he got COVID, obviously, when he wasn't playing. But you were going to talk about Tierney and Tavares, yeah? Tierney was always going to come back. And the goal he scored the other day was just...
Oh, delighted for him.
Oh,
absolutely. You can see it. He's Arsenal through and through. You can just see it. I mean, even in that celebration, the way he went over to the fans, arms out, arm back. Here we go again. Like, I mean, for me, I've got a lot of Celtic mates over here. Obviously, living in Ireland, big Celtic fan base over here. They were texting my phone, "You bastard! You bastard! You took Tierney. You've taken Tierney, £25 million. You've robbed us." So that when you've got people saying that about players, you've got to take a little bit of notice of it. Because it's like, it'll be like if one of ours went to somewhere else and we'd be texting the buddies who support that team.
Oh God,
yeah.
Oh, we had it. If someone on Twitter said it to us, a girl who follows Celtic, same thing. She goes, "Oh my God, you've got my Tierney. You what a player." And I do feel that he needs to be congratulated, Arteta, sometimes on what he's brought in, whether it was Edu or not. I'll never forget. I was at the Etihad at the beginning of the season. As I said, I've got some City mates, and I went with them. And we were outside, and one of them went, "There's Edu over there." I went running over to Edu, got my picture with the Invincible, and I said, "You sort this club out." And at the time, I posted it because it's one of our Invincibles. I got so much abuse, I can't begin to tell you. I got so much. Yeah. I actually thought about taking the picture down.
No.
I've never had. I tell you, Craig, they were going, "How dare you have a picture of him? He's ruining our club." And I'm like, hold on a second. He's an Invincible. He's not ruining our club. We played Brentford, and yes, we were atrocious. Chelsea and City, forget it. I was at City for 6 minutes against City. We were superb. And then they tore us a new one, obviously, that day. Xhaka did what Xhaka did. And, I can see a lot of the comments, and I can see what you're all saying about Xhaka. But we are stuck with him this season. And I think for him to get better, someone needs to go, stop it. Stop it. Play with Partey the way you're doing. We're all happy with that, but we're not happy with your nonsense. But what I love about Kieran Tierney as well, he's quiet.
Yeah.
No social media. He doesn't do anything. You never see him in the paper. He's never anywhere. Might post the odd picture on Instagram, but that's
the fact he comes to. the fact he turns up to football stadiums with his stuff in a Tesco's bag says it all, doesn't it?
Oh, I love it. And the fact he's out there training in like ankle socks and a t-shirt in the snow.
Yeah. Minus 25.
You know what, Craig? All he wants to do is play football. That's it. Not interested in anything else. Play football for his club, for the fans. That's it. And that's what you want. That's all I care about.
If we can get, we can get 5 or 6 more players like Kieran Tierney. I think everything's good. I mean, Arteta has hinted that he might be bring some people in over the January transfer window, but I do believe he did mention bringing in people on loan. But again, look, I trust him. I trust him 100% with the players that he's brought in. I was like everyone else. Who's this geezer? Who's that geezer? I've never heard of him. Oh my God. But I didn't go take to social media and start going, "Oh, this is geezer. Who's this guy? Get rid of him. Sack Arteta." Like you say, you've got to give him time. You've got any player that he brings in, just give him a chance. Please,
absolutely,
give him a
Craig.
chance.
My Scouse mate went to me, Tierney, one for the future. I went, "Who's that?" He went, "Plays for Celtic. He's linked to you." I said, "Oh yeah, I don't listen to all this chat. Your viewers will get noticed that I don't deal with transfer. They can watch your show for that. I do not."
Yeah.
I can't honestly.
Well, it's definitely something I've shied away for in the last few years. You can't believe anything that's out that people are talking about. It's all for it's clickbait for me.
This is what I do, Craig. I don't trust it until my dad's phoned me or it's the yellow banner on Sky.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care. Weirdly, though, I did get told that Ozil was signing for us.
Well, look, I've got one. I do have one fella who I do listen to. He did tell me about Arsene Wenger Arsene Wenger leaving 3 months before it, and he did tell me about Aubameyang about a month before it. So
Oh,
But he's got a lot wrong as well. So
yeah.
yeah, swings and roundabouts.
As they say, a clock's right once a day, twice a day.
Yeah, exactly. Amanda, I think we'll leave it there.
Okay.
It's been absolutely fantastic talking to you. It's something that we have never done
No.
on a one-on-one basis, talking about Arsenal. I think everyone can hear, we're passionate about our club. We want them to do well, and we'll carry on supporting them through thick and thin. Thank you to everyone in the chat who joined us this evening. 250 of you watching us live.
Wow.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello.
Can I just tell your viewers what I'm going to be doing on my show? The sort of
Of course you can.
That's
well, we haven't got a name for it yet, have we? Do you know what? Right, this is what we should do. Is if you've got any good names for a show, put them in the comment section down below for Amanda, and we'll have a sift through them and see if I can't think of one. I think my Same Old Arsenal is the pinnacle of podcast naming. I don't think I could do it again, to be honest. What a name for a podcast. It's brilliant.
I sat there yesterday and I was like, I just couldn't think of one. But what I'm going to do on my show, exactly, Johnny boy.
Look at that. Look.
That is so funny. That is one of them I'm going to do. So I've written it down because I'm not very technophobe. So basically, I'm going to have people on that are match going or TV watching Arsenal fans. Don't have to be famous. You just got to love the club. And I don't care where you are in the world. Australia, America, Africa, England, wherever you are, you're a fan. I know a few journos. I'm going to have family on, my dad especially, some ex-players I'm friendly with. PG tips, football or life related. We don't know yet. I'm going to do a player of the week. Again, football, or if you've done something outside of in the real world, as they say. I'm going to also, which I love doing, I'm having fans of other clubs on. It's always good to get their perspective, especially before their game with us. So I'm going to start either before the Liverpool game or the Tottenham game. I've already got a Tottenham fan that actually, when he came on the other pod I was on, all the Arsenal fans loved him by the end because he was a really good, he's one of those that you like. He's not one of those. So I could just see.
There's a few of them.
PG rated, PG outspoken. Thanks, Rob. And also Ask Mand. You can ask me anything about anything to do with Arsenal, football, women in football, anything, or you can ask Mand about anything else in life. And also what's really important to me is audience participation. So all your comments that I can see, I've got to learn how to do it all. But it's you lot that I want to talk to every show. Wednesday or Thursday nights around 8:00. So I'm really excited about it. And you let me know what you like and what you don't like.
Absolutely. Amanda, it's great to have you on board.
Thank you.
Very, very excited to have you here. And I'm sure everyone else is. Like I said, keep an eye on the Twitter. Follow us at Same Old AFC. And follow Amanda at Princess Gooner 1969.
No, Gooner Girl 1969.
Gooner Girl 1969.
Gooner Girls 1969 on Twitter.
Yeah, Gooner Girl 1969. Go over and follow Amanda. But of course, you will see all Amanda's shows advertised on Twitter. So keep your eyes peeled. From me and Amanda, take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you so much for coming along. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the boys are back in town. Main podcast where we'll be going over the Manchester City game. I'm sure some people's opinions are going to cause a little bit of a stir, but that's what we want and that's what we like. See you tomorrow night, 8:00. All the best.